What is good, everyone? This is your host, Deanna Kemple with Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live label free. I'm super excited. We've got a very special guest. You know, I love my coaches. She's a very special coach because she's been an international competitive alpine ski racer, actress and singer in New York City. She is an opera singer. She lives in Aspen. She is a Labrador Retriever with her incredible husband. She is also the VP of the Handel Group Life Coaching and an expert coach. Please welcome Sally Maxwell. Sally, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Deanna. I'm really psyched to be here and be connecting with your audience. Hi, everyone.
This is very cool. So besides everything that I just told them about you, which there's so much more, obviously, can you please introduce yourself and tell them a little bit about your background?
Yeah. So I've been, I would say my motivating factor in my life has always been to follow my passion. I was really fortunate enough to be raised by two parents who instilled that in me. And, you know, if listeners heard the brief resume that you just shared, it's like, well, she did a lot of random stuff: ski racing, acting, life coaching. And what I found is that there's a common thread through all of those things. Sure. And it's the common thing that really drives me, that I love now to teach people how to do through coaching with Handel Group Life Coaching. And what it is there's specifically personal accountability is something that I'm very passionate about, that I teach is the way to live your dream life. And if you look back at being a ski racer, it's not a team sport, it's an individual sport. And it really does fall down on that individual being personally accountable. Sure. Same with being an actress. Now, another reason why I loved being an actress is because as an actress, I get to tell stories and create a cathartic experience, create a moment of change for people. Sure. And as I segued into becoming a life coach, I really was able to identify with the help of my coach that that's an ingredient that's necessary for me to continue in this throughway of my career in how it's evolved. And as a coach now, I get to teach personal accountability. I get to teach in a way that's cathartic for people. And, you know, my dream is that today I land some real nuggets for your people to walk away from changed, walk away that they can apply these tools to their life and make their lives and everybody else's lives better.
I love that. And I think I think that someone that has really accomplished a lot, and then as someone who's followed their passions, you are a great coach to help coach someone else that may have not found their passion or not following their passion because they're too scared. You know, so I'm very similar as you. Like, if I have an idea and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it, I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to go for it. So I was a bodybuilder, and that's a very individual sport as well. Yes. I'd still like to compete, but my fiance and I are trying to have a baby. So it's like, that doesn't really fit into the plan right now. So that's a very individual sport, and you have to have accountability, and you have to have that drive, and you have to really not let self-doubt creep in. And it's a challenge and a test for you every single time. So, and I actually am a certified life coach myself. I've never gone and really coached anybody because I'm too much of an empath. And if they don't succeed, I even though I have good boundaries, it really affects me. So I love what you guys do. I believe in it. I went through the whole training. I don't remember how long the course was, but it was an intense course. But I learned how to communicate so much better with other people. So I love that's why I love talking to coaches, because I know what you guys do. And it's just and I think it's necessary for a lot of people these days.
Absolutely. Because we're living in a culture where dealing with your mental health has become destigmatized. So hopefully individuals who are dealing with chemical imbalances and mental health issues are getting to a therapist. But then additionally, people who are realizing that, hey, my life is pretty great, but it actually could be greater. Just like Olympic athletes say, hey, I'm pretty good at ice skating, but you know what? I could get to the Olympics. I think as a culture, we're becoming a lot more comfortable at hiring an expert in achieving your dreams to get there.
Yeah, I love that.
And me too.
Yeah, no, you guys are doing some great things. So
Thank you.
What is the difference between just like a basic life coach and you as an expert coach?
So I'll talk a little bit about the Handel methodology, because our methodology is different from other coaching methods in the sense that we deal with people's personal integrity. So personal integrity is whether or not your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions are aligned with your dream.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I'm not kiboshing any modalities here,
Sure.
but some modalities deal with more of the ethereal, non-tangible feelings, the secret, right?
Right. Yeah.
Some modalities deal with take actions, do this diet, walk across these hot coals, and you'll be cured, right? Yeah. But what I love about the Handel method and why it was so effective for me initially, and now why I teach it, is because we deal with humans 3 different levels of integrity at the same time. So we're not just doing ethereal, we're not just doing action oriented, we're not just doing managing your mind, we're actually doing them all 3 together. So if you think about taking action in your life, getting on the diet plan, going on 1 date a week, having 3 job interviews a week, right? That's one angle of the triangle.
Okay.
Right? Then you have managing your mind, being able to talk back to that voice of self-doubt, being able to recognize that self-doubt as BS.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the second angle of the triangle. And then you have the third angle of the triangle, which is down here. I don't have 3 arms, so I can't do it.
Here, I'll do it.
But the third angle of the triangle is dealing with your fundamental beliefs, your spiritual beliefs. So do you actually believe that you are worthy? Do you actually believe that you could be a gold medalist? And without the physical, the actions, the emotional, managing your mind, or the beliefs, the belief systems, if those 3 things aren't working together, you're inevitably going to fail.
Yeah.
Because the 3 aspects together catch each other. So when the diet plan doesn't work, then you go to catching your negative inner dialogue. When the negative inner dialogue, if you come up against something like that and you get stuck, then you're able to rely and fall back on your belief system, where you believe that you're actually a healthy, fit person who's worthy of love.
Right. Yeah.
So it's the special combo of physical, emotional, and spiritual. And we spent 10 years developing this coaching method at MIT so that it's rock solid. It's been tested, it's been tried, and it's truly replicable for any area of life.
Yeah. I think that's more powerful, the way you guys have it set up.
It is. And it's when I came to Handel, I was 15 pounds overweight. I was in a career that I didn't love. I had an okay relationship with my family, but it wasn't deep and profound. Yeah. I had a history of picking the wrong kind of guys who I would then emotionally castrate and lose attraction to and then dump. I was like, and I remember in my first coaching session, my coach was the first person to be able to call me out on my bullshit.
Oh, wow.
And I come from a world of personal development. My mom was a therapist. I grew up reading What Color Is Your Parachute? But having somebody be able to look at my life from my actions, my beliefs, and my ability to talk back to my negative inner dialogue was profound for me. And it truly changed my life. And it's why I'm here. Sure. So that's a little bit about, does that answer your question about how this coaching is a little bit different?
Absolutely. No, and I love it. And I think that when I talked to Marnie, that is part of the Handel Group, we go over some of that too. And I mean, it's got to be so great to watch your clients just evolve and kind of reach that, that helps them get over that self-talk and help them be accountable to themselves. Because I feel like, some of the other, I don't remember a lot of what I was taught, but I don't think it was set up like what you guys are doing. It was more of just like kind of walking them through, what's their roadblocks, but not setting up that triangle that you're talking about. So I think that it's very powerful. And I think that that's probably why you guys are seeing so much success. So you've been with them since 2010?
I have. So 11-ish years.
Yeah, that's a long time.
It really is. I started as an admin assistant. So I was an actress in New York, and I didn't even know I was interested in life coaching, but my husband had the privilege of getting coached by Lauren Handel Zander, founder of the Handel Group, from the time that he was 15. So Lauren's kind of like a sister mother to him.
Oh, wow.
She's amazing. And by proxy of him, I had the privilege of meeting Lauren.
Okay.
Right. So all of a sudden my husband and I are dating, and Lauren is sitting down at dinner with me and she goes, "So how's your career going?" And I shrink back into my seat. I'm like, my jeans are a little tight. I'm not really castable as like a cute actress because I'm a little chunky. I'm not really going after my dream. And I spouted all these excuses. I don't have time to go to, I don't have time to go to auditions. I don't have the capacity. I don't have this and that. And she was like, "Well, if you need a day job to free yourself up to go to auditions, why don't you just work as an admin for my company and then you can go to some auditions?" And I said, "Totally."
That's awesome.
And because I was an admin, part of the perk of working with Handel is I get coached by Handel. And that's when I got my first coaching session that blew me away. And from there, I just started taking on more and more accountability in the company, just because I was seeing not only individuals' lives change, but I'm sure you recognize this, that when one person's life changes, they're actually able to change the lives of everybody that they touch.
Yeah.
So we're actually creating like a spread of people living their dreams, people being proud, people being happy, healing people from lineages of abuse, like just tremendous world change. And, I'm hooked.
Today's episode is brought to you by Honeylove. Ladies, let's talk about shapewear. We all know most shapewear makes you feel like you're being suffocated. That sexy dress in the back of your closet is so freaking cute, but the thought of having your insides squished by your shapewear is just not worth it. That's why Honeylove spent years researching and developing effective shapewear that's actually comfortable. Overly tight, cheap, and sticky fabrics that roll up are a thing of the past. Thanks to Honeylove, you can finally feel confident and comfortable in your favorite outfits. We have an exclusive deal for our listeners. For a limited time only, you can get Honeylove's best deal they offer. Get 20% off your entire order with the code LABEL320 at honeylove.com. That's right, ladies. Get 20% off of your entire order with LABEL320 at honeylove.com. Yes, it's beautiful. It's a domino effect. And so that's what made me start my podcast, is just some of the things that I've had to confront and deal with over the last 5 years. And, I've had to really kind of heal from a lot of past abuse and, speak my truth on being a survivor of human trafficking. So, and I never thought ever I would talk about that. And as I came to the place where I just want to share my story and share stories of others, in my own way, I'm creating that domino effect too by helping someone else. Because I know that a lot of my some audience members have reached out to coaches like yourself and have become clients. So, this right here, I'm doing my part to help you guys help more people, and it's been a beautiful thing. I'm here to serve. Like, this is my part in doing that. So that's why I love talking to coaches, because you're all so unique in your approach and how you help your clients, and there's an audience for everybody. And so your story is going to resonate with someone else, that's listening and say, "Oh my gosh, I need to reach out to Sally. I need to talk to her and see what this looks like." And so talking about saying that, what does your process look like as a coach taking on a client? Do you take on clients still, or you just help with the operations?
I do. I take on clients. I also help in operations, and I run and oversee our entire division of coaches. So we have 19 life coaches who've been fully trained in the 2 to 3 years of methodology training that we require. So what our process is like, imagine if you were a client. The first thing that we do is we give you a homework assignment to write your dream for every area of life. Now, we identify 12 different areas of life.
Okay.
Career, time, money, relationship, body, spirituality, family, home. The list goes on. That was only 8, right? But the purpose of challenging you to wake up and dream is that this very well may be the first exercise that you've been challenged to actually tell the truth to yourself about what you want.
Sure. Yeah.
Most of us, myself included, are scared to dream because for a million reasons. The minute we say what we want, then we're accountable to delivering it. Or the minute we say we want, that little voice then comes back into our head and says, "You could never get that." right? And then just facing that little voice is just too scary, so we don't even dream.
Yeah.
So we relate to dreams like they're the compass to our clients' true north. Okay. And spoiler alert, you and everybody, most of us suck when we first write our first dream, because our first dream is actually written by that negative inner dialogue that's saying, you can't really do it, right? Like when I wrote my first dream about my body, it said, and I don't have cellulite, right? Like, now, does that actually sound like a dream, or does that sound like the little voice in my head that's criticizing me for the cellulite that I had because of the bag of cookies that I ate last night?
Yes. Yes.
Right. So as a coach, what we do is we actually help our clients initially craft a dream that's an actual manifestation of what they want and not what they don't want, which in my case was I didn't want cellulite. But what I did want was to feel that feeling of like smooth legs as I pulled on my jeans.
Yeah.
There's a nuance. So we start with dreaming, and then we start to look at all of the reasons and excuses and justifications for why you don't believe that you can have your dream. Right?
Yeah.
And one of the most powerful ways that we found to look at these voices is actually by naming them, by giving them language.
Okay.
Right? So think about if you recognize these voices in your head. There's the voice of the chicken, which is that voice of fear.
Yes.
Fear of success, fear of failure, fear of confrontation, fear of having a difficult conversation, right?
Yeah.
In my case, fear of actually being on Broadway, fear.
Yeah.
Chicken. Then we have a voice of a brat. The brat is this voice of, I don't wanna. Yeah. Like, how many people have seen a 4-year-old brat who just doesn't wanna, and they are gonna throw a temper tantrum so that they don't have to.
Yeah.
So, for me, the brat comes up when it's time to exercise. I don't wanna. It's raining out. I'm too tired. Oh, I have this work email that I have to deal with. Oh, I have to call my mother. Oh, I have to make a chicken. Like, whatever, right? The brat just doesn't wanna.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then tell me if you recognize this voice, Denise. Do you recognize the voice of the weather reporter? So the weather reporter is the voice that reports on the weather like there's nothing we can do about it. It's going to rain, right? It's going to rain today, and there's nothing that we can do about it. I just showed up late to work today. I was late. I was running late. Time just got away from me.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know what's in my bank account. My money, I've never been good with money. I'm just a Sagittarius. I'm just a Gemini.
Yeah.
These are all excuses that our inner voice that we call the weather reporter uses because they don't want to be accountable for actually changing their life.
Yeah.
Right. Because if you say that time got away from me, that's much easier to say than, well, I actually didn't plan my morning very well, and I thought it was going to take me 15 minutes to take a shower and do my hair, but it really took me a half an hour, and I'm now late because I needed to pick up a Starbucks. And I'm not going to say any of that, though. It's much better because then I don't have to change my behavior if I just say time got away from me.
I love that. I think those are some, I can relate to that. I mean, I know I'm chicken. I'm probably more of the brat.
Yeah.
And then the weather reporter, the fear, I learned to deal. I've never been a real fearful person. I've always wanted to face my fears. Like, I know I'm scared, but it doesn't matter, because I'm going to face it. I'm just going to do it anyways. What's the worst that can happen? And every time that I've, faced my fears, it's always a good outcome. So the brat I do. Like, I don't know.
How does your brat show up?
I guess right now, like, I haven't been, but see, I have a legitimate reason. I haven't been going to the gym like I normally do because I've been feeling very nauseous. So this could be a positive thing with what I'm trying to, what my plans are with my fiance. So, and I know I should go, but I'm like, kind of like, I just don't want to. I just want to rest. I want to sleep. I want to, I'm not feeling good. And so I've just been saying that to myself a lot. And I'm like, I know that if I got myself up and I put my gym clothes on and I got there, I'd probably be okay. So the weather reporter, I've kind of learned to just be like, well, that's not true. You're giving yourself a false narrative. So no, you don't want to listen to that. Like, I'm just this, I'm just that, because that's not true. These are all lies you tell yourself.
Yep.
So
can I coach you?
Sure.
on your brat?
Yeah, let's do it.
So I totally get that you're nauseous. And there are times in our life when we are not 100%, when we're not 100% ready to show up to like a HIIT workout and do a bunch of back handsprings, right?
Yeah. I couldn't do that anyways.
So all that requires is that you step up and design something that is going to fit given your certain set of criteria.
Yeah.
Right? Like I have a client who just had a baby and she used to go for runs every day. And then she would come to our coaching sessions complaining about how she didn't feel great because she couldn't run anymore and she wasn't moving her body.
Yeah.
And I reminded her, hey, you're not a brat who feels bad and just makes excuses. You're actually, I challenged her to step into the position called the author of your life. And the author of your life says how your life is going to go. The author writes pen in hand how your day is going to go. So given that you have these circumstances where you're feeling nauseous, what could you author? What could you create that's a stretch for you, but doable in terms of exercising?
Just actually getting myself together and going. And even if I just go and walk on the treadmill for like 30 minutes, like I could do that. And I know I can. I'm just like,
yeah.
I'm just choosing not to. Like,
yeah.
I know, like you're just being lazy. You're just wanting to sit here and like, you know, even if I did feel nauseous, I'm sure I'd be fine. So.
And then how often in your ideal world would you be walking on the treadmill for 30 minutes?
6 days a week, at least.
6 days a week. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's your new promise.
Okay.
Okay. Remember how we talked about accountability?
Yeah.
I'm building your accountability with you. And everybody use this formula. Your promise now is to do 30 minutes, 6 days a week, walking.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't care if it's on a treadmill. I don't care if you're outside, but you're going to literally walk. You're going to set your timer and you're going to do it for 30 minutes.
Awesome.
Okay. Now get this.
Yeah.
What happens if you blow it off? Are you going to suddenly, you're going to feel bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the reason we blow things off is because, you know, you're not going to immediately gain 25 pounds if you blow it off for one day.
Right.
Right. But there is a long-term consequence if you blow it off day after day after day after day. In a month, you may have had your mood go down and you may have put on 2 or 3 pounds and you may start feeling really crappy about yourself.
Yeah.
Right. We human beings think that we're doing something by feeling bad. We say, well, if I feel bad, at least I'm not a total garbage can of a human being. See, I felt bad and I'm doing something about it. I'm feeling bad. Feeling bad is a total diversion from doing what you actually know that your highest self wants you to do.
Yeah.
So instead of feeling bad, I have a replacement for you. You ready?
Yes.
It's called a consequence.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, so first off, consequences are not punitive. They are not harmful. This is not a punishment. Your consequence is simply a immediate artificial consequence that you pay to yourself if you blow off your promise. And what creating this immediate artificial consequence does is it does not allow you to feel bad.
Yeah.
Because you're paying the piper. You're having a second shot at sticking to your word.
Yeah.
So a consequence is never, like I said, something punitive. It's actually removing something that's not great for you that would probably be pretty good for you to remove from your life. So think about your vices. Okay. Anytime I come after my clients' vices, like, is it that weekend cocktail? Is it Netflix? Is it coffee? Like, is it a cigarette? What's Netflix? Okay. So if I suddenly came to you and I said, okay, Deanna, you are not allowed to watch Netflix for the next week for every day that you blow off your promise of walking, right? You're suddenly going to become a genius at how to figure out how to walk for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? Because you know next week, if you blow off one day, that's one day next week that you don't get to watch Netflix.
Yeah. I love it.
Right?
Yep. Okay.
So that's going to be your consequence. The consequence is next week, for every day that you blow off walking 30 minutes this week, you lose a night of Netflix next week.
Okay.
Right? My consequence when I first started coaching was to run 30 minutes 3 times a week. Remember, you want to be specific with the promise. It's not exercise more. You get specific.
Right.
And then mine was no cocktails on the Friday night.
Ooh, yeah.
And you know I love my margaritas. So the minute my coach came after my margaritas, I got really smart.
Yes. Yeah.
At figuring out how to put on my damn sneakers.
That was cute. I love it. Oh, I wouldn't like that either. I like my cocktails too, even though I'm choosing not to because of the situation. So
yeah,
I like that. No. Okay. So I'm feeling, all right, good.
It's a management strategy. Is it, are we on this? Is this our,
girl, we're on this. Yep.
Yeah.
I've been working out my whole life. And so for me to be like I've been going to yoga here and there. So I have been doing something, but the yoga was making me very dizzy. And like, even I felt like I was gonna throw up on the mat. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to back off of this for right now.
Right.
I think I can walk. So yeah, actually when I'm done with recording today, I'm going to the gym. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm excited. I can do it for 30 minutes. So you guys have a book, right? Tell us.
So the book is the punchline. The title of the book is the punchline to all of our coaching. It's called Maybe It's You.
I love it.
Meaning, like, you know, if you're not getting the results that you want in your life, if you're not living your dreams, maybe it's you. Maybe you're trying really hard, but trying in the wrong direction. Maybe you're being unaccountable. Maybe you have some deep beliefs that actually need to be unearthed and evolved, which this book will teach you how to do. It's just such a good starting point to learn the basic tools of the Handel method. And from there, we have private coaching. We have an online course called Inner You, which people can find. But the book is an awesome place to start.
I love it. And where can people find that book?
Amazon.
Okay. And where can people find you? Where can my audience get in touch with you, Sally? Because you are just awesome.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. So there are a couple ways that you can find me. So the best way that I want your audience to find Handel Group and find me is click the link to the current reality quiz that's in the description of this video. This is a gift that I'm giving to you, audience, participants, human beings. I want you to take the current reality quiz. What it is, it's like kind of like an old school Cosmo style quiz where you're going to answer questions and the quiz is going to reveal to you which areas of your life really need to be worked on and what your current state of your current reality is. Now, most of us need to take this quiz because most of us are so good at deluding ourselves that everything's fine, right? But until you actually have it in front of you in black and white. And the cool thing about taking the quiz is that once you take it, you will be guided to a website where you can sign up for a 30-minute consultation with our team. And it's not a coaching session, but it's a consultation for those who are interested in working with a coach, through one of our programs. And we have individual consultations with every single person who works with us because this method is not for everybody. And we really want to make sure that the shoe fits and that we match our clients with the exact right coaches. So we give a lot of specialized care in that respect. So that's the best way to find us. And please know, all of our 19 coaches are just like me who've been ridiculously trained for 2 to 3 years in this method. And we have ongoing weekly continuing education to ensure that we're firing on all cylinders so that, we walk our talk, we pay our consequences, we inspire you to pay yours.
I love it. That's awesome. And so before we say goodbye, is there any last words of wisdom or advice you'd like to offer the audience?
Yes. Just tell the truth. Tell the truth in your life. Tell the truth about your dreams. Tell the truth about what's actually in the way of your dreams. And that is the recipe to being proud and happy.
I love that. Well, thank you so much, Sally, for being a guest. You are awesome. I know that my audience is really going to love it and they're going to get a lot of value out of it and take some good takeaways. So you guys, I'm going to put all the links in the show notes. So please don't hesitate to reach out to Sally or the Handel Group and take that quiz. It's a free gift. And I think you're going to really be happy if you decide to go that route. This is your host, Deanna Kemple with Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live label free. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, follow. all those good things. And I'll be back soon with more dynamic guests.